Our top story, it's in Twinsburg Township where a gas explosion tore through a neighborhood. This happened on Hiram Lane in the Woodlands neighborhood. 3 homes were destroyed, more than 20 others damaged, and at least 2 people injured. David Greenberg and Candace Hare are live at the scene, but we're going to start with Candace, who has more on what led up to the explosion. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning, Danita. Yes, I'm in Twinsburg Township on North Hiram Lane. No damage visible where I am on this side of that road closure you can see that's here behind me. But if you take a look at your screen right now, you're going to get a look at some live drone footage, and it's very clear from that footage the damage that was done. Multiple homes now essentially replaced by piles of rubble after that massive explosion took place just minutes after neighbors were told to leave the area or shelter in place due to a reported gas leak that happened on Thursday afternoon after a contractor working in the area hit a gas line. And it was on Thursday afternoon that crews were called to Hiram Lane after that worker who was laying fiber line in the area hit that gas line. The Twinsburg Fire Department tells us there was very little wind in the area at the time, and so they weren't able to disperse the natural gas. It just kind of settled into the neighborhood instead. And as gas company crews headed to the scene, one home exploded. The blast destroyed 3 homes, severely damaged more than a dozen more, and left 2 people hurt. And the company that was digging in the area, Unity Group, said that they were working in this area, adding via statement, quote, "We are cooperating with authorities and working to understand exactly what happened. Our thoughts tonight are with everyone in the Twinsburg Township area who has been impacted."
We smelled gas. They called the gas company. They told us to shelter in place. We stayed inside. And then probably 15, 20 minutes later, just boom.
My wife was at home at the time, and she called me panicking, and she said house exploded, and I guess it knocked her off her feet.
Now the gas lines in the area of that explosion at last check have been shut down as investigators are still working to determine exactly what happened here. Danita?
All right, Candace here reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. And you know, as neighbors gathered waiting for answers, they too shared in the feeling of relief that no one was seriously injured, especially because this blast zone was quite large. David Greenberg also in Twinsburg this morning with just how widespread the damage was. Good morning, David.
Yeah, good morning, Danita. And as the sun is coming up and you saw those drone images, we've gotten a much better look at really how extensive the damage was. We're told that debris was blown really all down the street with pieces of wood and nails all thrown up in trees. Take a look at the drone the footage once again. It's about 3 houses that are almost completely, entirely gone, and what is left there. You can see some of the burned brush from the trees for where those fires were caused as well. Again, the damage is extensive and overwhelming. And if you take a look at the video from our crews that were on scene last night of some of the people that were in the area, of the neighbors, family members, you could see them standing around really in disbelief, just traveling with their suitcases, coolers, trying to find a place to stay for the night and maybe moving forward. When you look around at some of the devastation, like we said earlier, it's a miracle to think of how much worse it could have been.
We heard a big bang and our garage door shook. We had no idea what was going on, and then my tenant reached out to me and said there's a huge explosion, all the windows are knocked out.
It shook up the entire neighborhood, and it's just a sad thing to happen. But I'm glad there was, as far as we know, no loss of life.
And now, again, there were 2 people that were injured in this. One person was transported to the hospital from the blast. Another person was taken for unspecified reasons. We're still waiting to get updates on their conditions, and we're hoping to get those updates for you a little bit later today.
You know, just a miracle there was no loss of life in this explosion. That is what we can feel good about today. All right, thank you so much, Greenberg. Meantime, 2 surrounding cities, they are taking precautions. Hudson announced that all scheduled directional drilling operations in the city have been halted until a cause of the explosion is released. The city of Stowe also suspending all directional drilling until further notice. We will continue to follow this story on air and online. All you have to do is scan the QR code you see there on your screen to download our free WKYC app so you can stay up to date with the very latest information.